What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Is Overwatch getting a mobile version of the game? Yes, it is extremely likely that this is going to happen. Probably not before Overwatch 2 gets released, but it is almost a certainty that within the next couple years, Overwatch will have a mobile version of the game. A couple days ago, we got sort of a leak for the mobile version of the Overwatch game, and this comes from Richard Lewis, who is an editor at Dexerto. And paraphrasing real quick, what he said is, I have it on good authority that the original plan before last year's problems really kicked off everything into survival mode was that Blizzard wanted to release Overwatch 2 and the Overwatch mobile game at the same time. Further, he says that Blizzard wanted a mobile version of the game to be ready to go when Overwatch 2 was released, with a view to announce it prior to Overwatch's 2 release. This is all supported by something that was said by the Blizzard president during the 2020 investor call, and he said, "We need to make sure that we're enabling our franchises on the billions of mobile devices that are available right now. That's by far our biggest opportunity, and we're investing meaningfully to capitalize on this and to take all our franchises to mobile over time." Further support for this comes from Jeff Kaplan, Overwatch's game director, who has said on several occasions through Q&As and interviews and stuff that they have years of lore planned for the game, and that he is excited about telling stories in new ways using new mediums. And this is referring to the use of books and comics and other sorts of short kind of animations and that sort of thing. And it's probably going to possibly involve even bigger projects. We just saw recently that there is a Dota 2 series on Netflix, and World of Warcraft had a movie that was made. And while that movie was pretty much a failure in most of the world, it was massively successful in China. The fact of the matter is that even though the big AAA games for PC and Xbox and whatnot get all of the fanfare and all of the attention, mobile games will often make more money than the AAA counterparts. Or at a minimum, they are used in cooperation with the AAA. So you've got Fortnite Mobile, there's Call of Duty Mobile. These mobile games are making massive, massive amounts of money through microtransactions and other sorts of kind of systems that they use. Even though the game itself might be kind of free to play, they're still making massive amounts of money. On Blizzard's side of things, they do have Hearthstone, which is very, very popular as a mobile game, and it's making Blizzard quite a bit of money. The Diablo mobile game was definitely a slip up on their part, and it was just advertised and announced in a really bad for Blizzard. While the Diablo Immortal mobile game was essentially an announcement failure, it's still probably going to make a decent amount of money when it actually does get released. And on top of that, the Hearthstone mobile game is massively, massively popular, making Blizzard a ton of money. There is no question that Blizzard is looking at making Overwatch into a mobile game. Is it going to be the exact same type of game? Is it going to have matches that work alongside the actual PC players and that sort of stuff? Maybe, maybe not. It might be a different version. It might be not even an FPS game at all. It might just be a mobile game that uses the Overwatch characters in the story, and it might be something completely different than what we currently have for the game. But regardless, there's no question that Blizzard is making an Overwatch mobile game. Blizzard wants Overwatch to be the next Warcraft franchise. And what I mean by that is that Warcraft has been around for over 26 years. The first game came out in 1994. Then we had World of Warcraft, which came out in 2004. Hearthstone came out a bit later, and that was kind of branched off. And arguably, Hearthstone is making more money than Warcraft is right now. But there have been tons of other stuff. Books and comics and toys and collectibles and card games and all sorts of other tabletop stuff and whatever and movies and all this. And Warcraft has turned into this massive money-making franchise, and Blizzard wants to do the same thing with Overwatch. So there's no question that they're going to be making a mobile game in addition to all kinds of other stuff. Now, unfortunately, the other content that we've been getting for Overwatch outside of the game hasn't really been very good. The comic that we just got was absolutely terrible. The book that we also got wasn't good either. I mean, they have a lot of work to do, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to try. And one of those things, in order to expand the franchise, is absolutely going to be a mobile game. There's just no question that Overwatch will be getting a mobile game at some point. There's just simply too much money, and Blizzard is not willing to leave all of that on the table. They're going to do what they can in order to grab up as much of that mobile game market as they can. They've already got a big chunk of it with Hearthstone. They might get a little bit more with Diablo, but they see that a lot of potential with the Overwatch game. It's not a question of if Overwatch is going to get a mobile version of the game, it's a question of when will it happen. I think it's extremely unlikely that this gets released before Overwatch 2, and I would be hesitant to say that they would even be willing to announce the mobile version before Overwatch 2 gets released. Maybe it was the original plan to announce it before Overwatch 2 got released, but look what happened with Diablo Immortal. So exactly what's going to happen if they announce the mobile version of the game, you're going to have a massive, massive amount of people that are complaining, saying, why are you working on the mobile game when you haven't even released Overwatch 2 yet? Now, let's forget the fact that it's going to be handled by two completely different dev teams. Obviously, there's a lot of different stuff that's going to go on. You don't have the same people working on Overwatch 2 as you're going to have working on the Overwatch mobile game, but the perception will be that Blizzard is kind of pushing off to the side Overwatch 2, and they're going to delay that in order to make the mobile game first, in order to make more money because they're greedy and blah, 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 blah. So that is going to be a very bad kind of optic situation for Blizzard if they were to even announce it before Overwatch 2. So I think what's probably going to happen is we'll get a little bit more information about Overwatch 2 eventually, and then that game will be put into beta, and then it will be released. And then, once there's more of a set release date for Overwatch 2, then there will be an announcement for the mobile version. I think there is a possibility that the mobile version would get announced before Overwatch 2 is released, but only if Overwatch 2 has already gone into beta, or if they've already announced, like, this is the release date for Overwatch 2. It's gonna happen in, like, 2 months, and, oh, by the way, we also have a mobile game that's in the works as well. I think if you have that situation where players know that the Overwatch 2 game is going to be released or that it's just about to get completed, then I think they would be more okay with the announcement of the mobile version, but if that isn't happening, I don't see them really announcing a mobile version beforehand. So let me ask you guys something. Do you think the Overwatch mobile game is going to work the same way that Fortnite and Call of Duty and stuff works, where it's simply a mobile version of the game that we already have? Or do you think the Overwatch mobile game is going to be something completely new and just a different type of game than the FPS that we currently have on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and that sort of thing? What do you think? Let me know down below. A big thanks to all the Paragons and other channel members for all your support. If you'd like to become one and grab some cool rewards, click the join button down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like before you leave. And remember, always, always blame the controller because it's never your fault.